Tylko żebyś tak za bardzo nie ciągnął za tą rurę, bo ja...
Worst case, you just stick a log underneath that so you block it on both sides and it's gonna be. Hold this, hold the shifter.
Yeah. Genius!
Maybe the front, Jake. Looks like a pop can.
It's up to you to choose which tree it will be.
Like everybody in Central Ontario and even parts of Quebec are now watching this. Brought to you by Thor Insurance Brokers Limited. Online at CIBL.ca. I'm sitting in my home in Mississauga being a good boy and sitting within the stay-at-home orders, but I'm dreaming about being at my cabin here in Haliburton out there, and I want to hear home for a rest. Getting home, because you know it's well, that's what we're here for. So I mean, that's what it's all about.
All right, so you're in Mississauga. You wish you were in Haliburton, but you want to go home back to Mississauga?
You know what? Home is where the heart is. So my home is in Haliburton, and that's where I want to be.
You got it, buddy. Give me a howl.
Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Cabin Adventures. Glad to have you guys on board. So as you guys saw yesterday, it was Mission 100% Canoe, and that's the theme of this week. Actually, in fact, we are here for one full week. Our plan is to completely restore this guy, repaint, fix all of the rough edges. As you guys have seen yesterday, we basically stripped it right down to the bare sheet metal that is of this canoe. It's a flatback canoe, so we'll be actually attaching a motor to the back of it. Now, that being said, we plan to achieve quite a bit, but also try to catch a fish with this guy this week. So we're gonna hit up at least 3 to 4 lakes with this guy. Just see how things pan out, whether she sinks or swims, or what the situation is like. Slowly but surely, this isn't a project, this isn't that we want to race right through, but at the same time, getting onto the water is the initiative. So to start things off today, what we'll do is we're going to be stripping it right down, all the paint, all of the sealant that you guys can see right here. And from there, just keep chugging along, patching all the holes that are on it. And at the end of the day, hopefully we'll be able to test whether she sinks or swims. As you folks can see, the work continues behind me, but what we're doing right here is taking paint thinner and spreading in a light layer across the top of the canoe so the paint completely comes off within a couple of minutes with a steel wool brush. So that's what I'm kind of doing, tinkering around here from the front to the back, and we'll see how it goes. So as you folks can see, this is a section that's been cleared off with the paint thinner, and this has not been, although we have applied the paint thinner on there. And then we're going to take those pads that we have here, the good old wool pads. Are they? Steel wool pads. That's exactly what we're using here. And yeah, slowly but surely get this paint off here so we can start tacking up the holes. Well, folks, it is quite toasty in that sun. We're working away here. We're chugging along. We're almost got it to the bare metal here, but next thing we'll be caulking up all the holes, as I mentioned, and the creases where the sheet metal meets together. We're going to be using marina filler as well as roofing caulking and aluminum putty. We'll show you guys all that throughout the process. So this is exactly what I mean by holes and patches that we need to repair. So basically this is where the aluminum pieces joined together when the canoe was initially made, and then filled with marina filler by the looks of it. Over the years there's rubber caulking and whatnot that's been put on here, so we got to rip all that off and then reapply the marina filler as well as the rubberized filling that we will spray onto this at once we've completed filling this and it's dried and it's ready to go. Time for some lunch. Now that is a Polish meal if I say so myself. So what we're applying is like a roofer seal. Just gonna apply it under, well, directly in the crack, kind of pack it into the, it's not really a crack, it's where they kind of seam it. So I'm just gonna pack that into the split. See how that goes. So with the roofing sealant on, we're gonna wait a little bit for this to dry up here. We're gonna go over the area with Flex Seal as well. It's an additional sealant that we're gonna, basically any cracks and crevices that we see, we're gonna fill with that as well. Well, the beast is fully flex sealed now. We got that roofer stuff on there as well. Basically what we're gonna do now is wait for all this to dry up. And then we're gonna put the filler and aluminum putty on any major dents and holes that still remain. Not many holes remain because honestly we went through everything with a fine-tooth comb with the Flex Seal stuff. But for the majority of the part, let's just make sure that there is not a single possibility of water getting inside here. So this, folks, is aluminum putty. What we'll do is we'll mix this up. There's a chemical reaction and it basically becomes an aluminum once hardened. So to fill you folks in on what this canoe is all about, this is an old family canoe that we've had kicking around since I can remember, at least 30 years at this point in time. Basically, we would take it everywhere. Growing up as kids, when we used to go camping almost every single weekend. And anyways, we figured that it's been kicking around and in pretty rough shape in our parents' backyard for a little bit, and figured it was time for us to restore the old beast. So that's exactly what we're doing, and hopefully we can make it out to some lakes this weekend, or this week I should say, and do some fishing on it. Once again, there's plenty of fish caught on this guy, and I'm hoping to catch a few more. This guy being him typical self. And as we wait for the outside to dry, we moved inside. So basically the same idea, flex sealing any area where the aluminum attaches and joins together, and it's making sure that any gaps are filled that might exist. Well, I think that's it for today. We've sprayed the inside of the canoe with a clear coat of the leak seal stuff, and we've also put white semi-gloss paint on the trim of it. It's basically we'll have to tape this up when we're painting the remainder of the canoe. But as you can see back here, we did a little bit of a sample, and I think she'll look all right. So one final task of the day is just cleaning off these support beams. Basically, I'm running some steel wire across them just to clean off some residual dirt and grime that's developed over the years. Make a little bit of a difference. Well, good morning, folks. Day 3 of our adventure here. So we're right now gonna make a cup of coffee, gonna head back outside, start checking out the canoe. Basically, we have determined that our roofing sealant has not dried. It most likely will not dry. Michael put on a bit of a too thick of a coat on there, so we're gonna remove the top layer of it, and then hopefully that should expedite the process, but we shall see. Anyways, folks, so we're gonna make some coffee, gonna relax for a little bit, and as I mentioned, head back on outside and start shaking away. So as you folks can see here, that's what it looks like. So what we're going to do is spread this stuff around and hope that we can make it dry a little bit quicker. So we're able to salvage some of the sealant. Basically the roofing stuff, we've managed to shove it in between the cracks here, but as I mentioned, what we'll be doing is we'll just be using that marina filler to fill these holes in, make sure that everything is up to snuff. I think what we'll do as well on the inside is use the aluminum putty for any major dents and holes inside there and keep chugging along. Right now we're going to go into town, pick up a few things that we ordered, some additional leak seal stuff, and yeah, just tinker away. Just applying that marina filler now. So this is an area that needs some major TLC. Here's a before shot. Let's see how it looks after. She looks a little rough now, but we'll sand her right down, put a second coat, and she should be good to go. So we're just applying Flex Seal to the areas that we've put the marina filler onto. Basically what that's just going to make sure is securing any other gaps that we might have missed. The Bondo, to be honest with you, or the marina filler is pretty strong stuff.
but at the same time, do it once, do it right.
So the next restoration project will be these guys. So the plan is to sand them down and basically create new seat cushions for them. As you can see, they do not have any cushions whatsoever at this point in time. So yeah, and then once we sand it down, just repaint them in a white color.
And Mr. Thor, how are you today?
So what we're doing right now is cutting the wood for the seat cushions. We're gonna make new cushions from old mattress foam and some leather that we picked up on Amazon. So just cutting up the foam piece to make the seat a little bit more comfier. The upholstery process begins.
Okay, I'm going to pull down on it, staple it here. Sure. Staple it there. Okay. Stop. Yep.
So as the work continues here, one quick update for you folks. The roofing stuff doesn't really work on this. So although it is extremely rubberized, it is quite durable. It will hold the water out of the canoe. It just simply does not dry in applications onto aluminum properly. Maybe not aluminum, but in the circumstances on a boat, just doesn't make the cut. So as I mentioned, we basically removed all of it completely using paint thinner as well as other products to dissolve the rubberized compound and start from scratch. And as you saw, we applied the Marina filler as well as the Flex Seal on top of that. And I think that should do the trick for now. We're gonna keep chugging along on the seats as well as Michael has, you can see, painted the edging white already. So we're just basically making sure that that's covered up when we paint it green. But for testing of onto the water without any occupants, that should happen tonight. So what we're doing right now is attaching the plywood piece that will basically hold the motor onto the back of the canoe. Nice piece inside and a nice piece out. Well, it's time to test her out and see how she floats. So we're headed out to the little lake right now. The canoe is up there. See it? There we go. It's holding up. But yeah, no, things are coming along. So the big test will be, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk into the water and try to put some weight on it just to simulate as if we were sitting in it. It's too rickety, too flimsy at this point in time because it's once again just pure aluminum to sit in. So what we'll do is we'll push it down and hopefully we see no leaks. So here we go, the true test. Let's see whether she floats. So we did discover a small little crack in the center of the canoe. So what we're going to do is throw on some leak seal right over top of that and make sure that there isn't. But I mean, overall, not too bad. Just that little leak.
So we are back under the canoe. What we're doing now is applying that putty stuff that I showed you guys the other day. And what we're going to do is line it all on the inside. Michał is spraying the leak seal over top. And what we're going to do is just hope for the best. I don't think we're going to test it out again, but the true test will be 12.
Some nice salmon trout for Thor. Even he gets spoiled out here. So with the final coat of paint going on here, it's time for reassembly. Well, after a long day of labor, time for some dinner.
So Jake's back here. He made his way back. But anyway, so we're putting in this supporting beams through the center here through the entire thing and putting the final touches together. Burning the midnight oil. The fight continues as the boys installed the side foam onto the canoe. Basically, the bolts were too short that we had. So we've been MacGyvering a little bit on the foam, adjusting it a little bit to make sure everything fits. But as you can see here, it's a bit of a task. The finishing touches. Well, there she is, folks. The completed product. We'll catch you a little bit better in the daylight tomorrow, but there she is. So we're on our way to the secret lake, but this is kind of a spot that is about the halfway point coming into that lake. We're gonna leave the location of this undisclosed, but yeah, this is a beauty location that we're headed to. Hopefully, there's nobody there, and we can do some fishing and a little bit of camping. All sorts of trackings here, but as you folks can see, that is a large moose, most likely.
This is a four-wheeler.
Tadpoles in the water. These washouts that many moons ago were full with water are completely dried out. Well, we have officially made it. Jake's backer in to the spot there. But yeah, we'll show you guys what this is all about in a quick second. Well, here we are. A lot of memories on this lake. Well, the dining tent is up and time for a drink. So with the fishing rods ready to go, we're gonna set out on the lake, see how this thing performs, especially the motor. I'm very curious about that. Well, here we go, folks. The moments of truth. We are off. Jake, any words to the folks?
Fucking seat broke.
So we're a few casts in, no success yet, but man, this
I wouldn't call it not success. That's definitely.
well, it's not a success in the fishing extent,
No, fishing. It was a bite.
but what are your thoughts on the canoe?
It's Nah, couldn't you can't ask for anything better. Honestly, it gets anything you could imagine, it gets it done.
Thor's being such a good boy. So this lake is actually quite deep. We're registering at 100 meters in some spots. Right now we're at 65 meters more or less, and yeah, it's 62.2 right now. So we're gonna keep casting away here and hopefully get a bite shortly. But yeah, it's quite deep, quite deep. Michael's using artificial worms. I'm using real worms. So we'll see whether we were able to capture anything. Any luck, Captain? We're back from some fishing and doing some plinking.
That was my lungs. It's Keto Central down there. Look at my arm. Oh my god. Sliding out a bit so it lost my arm.
Well, here we go, round two. Thor, do you think we'll catch some fish this time? Well, champ, any luck?
Not yet. But I'm sure there will be luck. The captain's guiding us.
Well, we've resorted to the old-fashioned way. Got a bobber out there. The classic white and red. And a worm. And hopefully something bites that down and we could bring it in. As you folks can tell, we're in a bit of dire straits here. If we don't catch this fish, we're not eating dinner tonight.
What the fuck are you talking about? We got a kielbasa in the fucking fridge.
But that is a fact. We do have sausage, we have blood sausage, we have pickles, we have all sorts of goodness waiting for us. But really banking on that fish. So we're motoring on over because I think Jakey may have pulled one in. Let's check it out. There we go.
Yeah, I don't want to play it.
Nice.
That's a very nice molly.
Very nice.
Oh, you want that?
Another one, Jake. How's that, number 2? How's that treating you?
Pretty good. That's a nice fucking bass.
Fillet there.
Where'd you catch it? Right there?
Right here.
Very nice. I caught a small one, that was about it.
The boys are quick to action on the fire situation here. So we're getting things ready here for dinner, but what I have on here are special gloves. They're fire retardant, completely, they're bulletproof gloves essentially, and as you can see here, I'm touching the fire and I don't feel it one bit. These are specifically designed for fire first responders.
Absolutely. If you got
But
shot,
what I'm doing here is I'm just shoving some stuff down underneath there so to make a nice hot bed, and then I'm gonna place some sausages on there. Looking pretty tasty. We got some burnt tips, unfortunately, but that's what happens when you're cooking over a fire.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it's been a day full of fun and adventures, but it's time for us to sign off. We'll catch you folks in the morning. But before we do, right after this, here's a nice shot that we took this evening, just a few minutes ago. Stars are beautiful out there. We'll catch you in the morning. Well, with a little bit of MacGyvering, we're able to fit everything inside the car, fortunately. Now time to load up the canoe. Well, there she be, ready to rumble. Well, Lake, you have been swell. We'll see you on the next one. But for now, it's time for us to hit the old dusty trail. So we are back at the cabin. Took a tour through Bancroft and stopped at Vito's Pizza. Gonna dip into that here. And out on another lake, this time Potash. So another lake, this is Elephant Lake here. So what we're doing is we're just touring around, just finding different locations where we can launch the boat now that we have it. But Elephant Lake is one of the feeder lakes that goes into Baptiste Lake, which is one of the larger lakes in the area. So we're just gonna... Well, I think it's time for a nice hot shower. Must admit, folks, that is next level. Feeling like a new man. How did that shower feel, Captain?
Changed my leg. Very good.
And what are we cooking?
We are making, you've seen this before, this is jurek, so it's a sour soup. Sour soup with sausages, eggs, and the potatoes. This is just packaged. This is camping style, okay? And this is not the real deal. Nobody get. Oh, I don't want to see no critics on there. You know, all that packaged shit. You know.
Well, good day, folks. After last night's dinner, we basically hunkered down, fell asleep on the couch, and then we headed back upstairs and passed out until 10:30. It was it's been a dreary day out here, all day pretty much. So, anyways, long story short, we took our time this morning. So right now we're headed to the Swiss Bear Schnitzel House to have some a brunch, like lunch, dinnerish, you know, just a mix of everything.
Just a one meal day kind of.
And then after that, we're gonna head to the Foodland, just north of the Hatka. So, anyways, we'll catch you folks up at the Schnitzel House. Not as nice as the past few days, unfortunately. Alright, folks. So we got blueberry butter tarts. We're going to have those later on. Set these to the side. So here we go. Let's take a moment. This is the schnitzel poutine that Michal got.
Okay. Oh my god.
This is the Polish with pierogies. Did you not get a meal?
No, this is what I ordered.
Oh, okay.
Exactly what I ordered.
Why is it on the phone? Well,
Alright, are we showing the camera?
Yeah, we're gonna show us. Alright.
Okay, so we got the schnitzel
Check
poutine there. Loaded right up with goodies, some pickles. You can see the poutine sticking out right there.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
And I have the Little Bear, which is basically a schnitzel sandwich. And pierogies on the side. Looking forward to this. So that was phenomenal.
but these butter tarts, they're calling my name. If you're ever out on Highway 28, strongly recommend popping by and checking these folks out. Pretty tasty stuff. We're at the Wilberforce Foodland. We're gonna pick up some stuff for chili. On our continued adventure of discovering new lakes, this right here is Buckskin Lake. It's situated about 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say 8 minutes in total from the Hatka. Not too bad. As you folks can see, the mosquito infestation is real. Well, from one lake to another. This is Center Lake. Just a quick setup of the motor and we'll be motoring away here shortly. Well, within 15 minutes, we are on the water. So switching back and forth, but what we're using right now is just a simulation minnow. We're gonna see whether this is a deep dive or a floater, but spinners, light bullet baits, so the gummy baits, worms is basically what we've been primarily using this entire week. Let's see if we catch anything. For a pretty crappy day weather-wise, turned out to be a beautiful evening. We got one. We definitely have one.
Oh yeah. Oh, that feeling when it goes, go for the run. Get the net ready, man, or something. Nice one. Beautiful bass.
Very nice. Well, unfortunately, I still remain skunked. That's quite all right. I'm quite all right with that. Trolling back.
See, does it link up over there?
Hmm?
That's it. Does it look like it?
Just an absolute blast. Well, good morning, folks. Another day on the lake. That's the intention, at least. We're gonna go out for a couple of hours here, see what we can catch. Well, here we go. Another round. Well, I'd love to tell you folks that we're smashing fish left, right, and center, but unfortunately, we are not. Not a good time, like Michael said. Not a great time to be fishing. It's late morning, put it. Yeah, it's 11:54 right now. So we're gonna move spots. We're gonna go back to where we were fishing at yesterday, where Michael had a little bit more luck, and then head on back.
So yeah, the beeping there that you're hearing, those are fish markings, and we're actually getting a lot of fish marks here. So hopefully soon we'll have a bite. We're not planning on staying much longer, another 10 minutes or so, but hopefully we can reel something in. I'm not putting any money on it right now, but yeah, there's definitely fish being marked on this little cove here. Oh, and we're getting some bites.
So change of pace here. We're trying some structure, trying to cast along that tree as you see. See whether we have any markings.
And for the final time, she goes up. Well, we have made it officially back. Time to unload it for the final time. So we've disposed of the garbage. Pretty riveting stuff that that landfill was. Let me tell you folks, but not at all. Just a bunch of bulldozers and garbage, to be honest with you. And now we're headed into Apsley, and we're gonna pick up some gas and some propane just to fill up all the stuff that we used up during the week. Well, with the Apsley visit out of the way now, time to start cooking up some chili. So this is a very Polish chili. So we have sausages, we have bacon, well, kielbasa, and bacon. We have onions, we have lots of garlic, we have ground beef, we have pork in there as well. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So we're about an hour and a half cooking, and things are looking mighty tasty. Smelling and tasting pretty good. Of course, you gotta sample a little bit. And some 5 cheese grilled cheese sandwiches to top things off. This is gonna be a good one, folks. Well, the finished product. There she be. Looking forward to this. Well, folks, this is a pretty tasty one. I do say so myself. Nothing like eating over the fire cooking things. Enjoy it. Well, after a hearty meal like that, time for a little bit of fire. So the unfortunate part of a cook-off like that is the cleanup. I'm gonna scrub this cast iron pot here. Just using some water right now, but yep. And the canoe is put to rest. At least till next time. But after a long day like that, it's time for a shower. Well, all squeaky clean and ready for bed. We'll catch you folks in the morning. Well, with everything wrapped up here at the chatka, it's time for us to sign off. We'll catch you folks on the next one.